Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Two Severed Heads. I am your host, Steve, and with me, as he is every week, is Steve. How are you?
Good. How you
Sorry
doing,
about
man?
the hiatus. We took a little time off, but we are back. And how's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good.
You ready for the brawl for all here, or what?
Yeah, Maddie. Yeah, it's I've posted this a couple times throughout the last couple weeks on our page, on Ryan's All Things Geek page, to get some fan feedback to help us, along with those watching, we're ultimately gonna decide who we feel is worthy of moving on until we crown a champion. And it's like any sport. Like, most major leagues have at least 30, 32 teams, and there's only one winner. People are going to be upset. People are upset about the seedings. People are upset about some of the matchups. I tried to do it as fair as I thought with the divisions. We got let's all right. Well, before we get into our little intro here, we'll talk about the divisions here. Of course, we have the human division, which is no supernatural abilities, no real slashers, just some regular old Joes that are got some issues,
Yeah.
And next up, we have the supernatural division, which is pretty scary. Some big heavyweights there.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have the slasher division. I took some shit for some of the seedings in this one. I took some shit saying, Jason, Freddie, Michael, Leatherface, they could have been the buy seeds. And, I said, yeah, but if I had done that, then we'd end up with the final four being Jason, Leatherface, Michael, Fred. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You knew that's what. So I tried to avoid that. I also took some shit for putting Reagan in this division. We're going to talk about Pazuzu as well. Basically, Pazuzu was the possessor behind Reagan, so I think she's worthy to be. And you know what? There's always underdogs. There's always some underdogs, because this last division, this is what I call the David and Goliath division.
Cool.
Because Leprechaun and Chucky got their work cut out for them.
May I say thank you for not putting any dolls in on this too, other than Chucky, like a doll division.
Yeah, his as much as we kind of talk some trash about Chucky on the show, his longevity,
you can't deny it.
He's up there. He's got the fan base, and he's got the kill. He's got the kill count.
Yes, he does.
The kill count. So we'll talk about all that as we break down the divisions. We'll use some of the feedback from our Facebook posts. On Two Severed Heads on Facebook, and Ryan's All Things Geek, of course. Your comments. We want to know, who do you think is worthy moving on? Put your votes in. Let us know as we're going along here. Me and Steve don't want to be the deciding vote on every one of these. We want you guys to get your say. So it's gonna be a fun tournament, and we'll get down to one by the end of the show.
I think the Leprechaun's going all the way. I think he's due.
Who?
The Leprechaun, he's due. He's going to go all the way.
He's nothing lucky. He's got luck by his side. Of course, stick around for the horror news of the week. We got lots to talk about there, as we do every week. And also on this day in horror history, as well as the Metal Minute. So stick around for those segments as I check the comments here. Chucky rules. Yeah, we know Lee Griffin is a big Chucky supporter and a big Chucky fan. So we definitely know where your vote's going for in that first round. But yeah, let's get started. So those of you watching, don't be shy. We want you to get your votes in. We're gonna start with the human division. One of the ones I took shit for was putting Jack Torrance in here. Like, dude, the guy's only got one kill.
But he tried to slaughter his entire family, man.
Yes, he's only got one kill, but again, there's always a Seton Hall. There's always an underdog. There's always a team that shouldn't be there. So, I tried to mix them up as best I could. But yeah, let's get into the first round, because he's got the first round bye. I did do the seedings. I grouped them together, but then I did do the seedings randomly. So.
Oh, nice.
So don't shoot me for that, please. But first up, Pamela Voorhees versus Norman Bates.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They both have the crazy X factor, eh?
They do. Norman Bates, behind every killer, at least every real life killer, there's usually a crazy mom.
Yeah.
And, that was definitely part of it. Norman was told his whole life growing up that all women were whores except for your mother. And slowly he developed that split personality.
Yep.
And, he's got 20 kills under his belt, including his mother and father.
That's right.
So we've got votes for Ghostface and Pamela Voorhees from Lee coming in here. So I'll put those down.
I think Norman's got the edge, but Pamela's got that crazy, like, almost feral factor. Like,
she does.
Yeah, she's like a possessed mom who lost her son.
Right. That's exactly how I was going to put it. She's the mama bear. She was the overprotective mom of her precious baby boy who was born with a birth defect. As I go into my phone notes here, he was born with hydrocephalus, which is a condition of accumulation of cerebral spine fluid, which occurs in the brain. So yeah, it put pressures on the skull, can cause vision impairment, mental impairment, downward pointing of the eyes, among other things. So she was a very protective mom. I didn't know a lot about Jason's dad, and apparently there is somewhat backstory to Jason's dad from a few comic books.
What?
Elias Voorhees was a very large, abusive man who hated his disabled son. He would beat him and call him a monster, among other names. He was eventually killed by his wife.
Whoa.
I think because he left them and was remarried, because it says his wife Doris. But and then in another version, there was a version where he had come home not realizing she was pregnant and was beating on her, and she was saying that she could hear voices from the child within telling her to do things. And he brutally raped and beat her, and then Pamela ended up coming back and killing her. So a few different versions there, but I don't know. What do you think, Steve? What's your vote?
Oh man, I'm gonna say the crazy mom. Crazy moms can be pretty dangerous, man.
Yeah, we got some love from for Pamela and Pamela Anderson, Pamela Voorhees, and me as well as a few other commenters. So I think we're gonna move Miss Voorhees on to the next round. Sorry, Norman. Next up, we have. No, I told you. No, you're not in this tournament. I expressively said before the show, you are not in this tournament. I'm sorry. Next up in the human division, we have Hannibal and Ghostface. So we know we already got a vote for Ghostface. But Ghostface is a weird one because the movie spanned 27 years and there's been 13 killers.
That's right.
So 45 kills in total amongst the 13 killers. But the one with the biggest body count was Roman Bridger. He, of course, played Sidney's half-brother in Scream 3. He had a kill count of 9.
Wow. Damn. Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know about Ghostface. I'm not sure if I'm completely sold on Ghostface.
Yeah, I think, honestly, with enough time, I think Hannibal would get around him easily.
Yeah, because Hannibal's, regardless of which Hannibal we're talking about, whether it's Brian Cox, whether it's Anthony Hopkins, Matt Mikkelsen, or Gaspard Ulliel, I think.
In The Rise of Hannibal.
He played the older version of Hannibal in Hannibal Rising. We saw his early days, but he's just so intelligent, so methodical.
I think he'd be a few steps ahead of Ghostface, honestly, because Ghostface is cool, but he's sloppy, and I think Hannibal would be a few steps ahead of him.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree there. Basing it on the first one, okay, that's fair.
That's cool.
Fair. Yeah, with the two killers, Billy
Yeah,
and
Billy
yeah,
and
I'm sure
Matthew Lillard.
yeah, I'm sure someone will tell us. But yeah, 60 between 62 and 98 kills for Hannibal, including all the movies and the TV show. That's including the Manhunter movie with Brian Cox.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I got to go Hannibal on this one.
I'm with you.
Yeah. We definitely saw some love for both Ghostface and Hannibal. But sorry, Lee, Ghostface is not moving on in this round.
Ooh, that's a biggie.
We have Hannibal on to the next one. So, yeah, a couple comments coming in here, maybe some late votes. Hannibal Ghostface to get dinner guest. Yeah. She concedes. Okay. we thank you. You're gracious. You're gracious in defeat. We appreciate that. Next up, we have. All right. So yeah, we have Norman Bates, Pamela Voorhees moved on to play to fight Jack Torrance, and we have Hannibal going on to face Jigsaw. So we talked about Pamela and what a threat she is. And we heard some some complaints about Jack and only having the one kill against Dick Halloran there, but he did have a violent past. He did break Danny's arm before.
Yeah, he was a mean, violent dude.
He was a drunk. He was obviously suffering from some kind of cabin fever, or whether it be the haunting or manipulation from the ghosts. And then there's the argument for the painting, like. He's always been the janitor. He's always been the
That's right.
So, like, is there some supernatural factor to Jack Torrance?
Well, in the book, they alluded to that. In the book, yeah.
Still Pamela. All right. Still showing some love for Pamela. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. I got to say, I think I'm with Lee. I think Pamela might get this.
Yeah,
look at the crazy on her.
Yeah, and Shelley did get the best of Jack.
Yes, she did.
So she outsmarted him. Yeah. You know what? I think I'll go with you guys on this one, and I think we'll move Mrs. Voorhees on to the final in this division.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So there we have it. We have Pamela awaiting the winner of Hannibal and Jigsaw.
Ooh.
Hannibal and Jigsaw. Like, this is like the ultimate mastermind matchup.
Exactly. Ooh. Man, I don't know what to do here. This is almost like basically two Batmans basically trying to square off against each other with the intelligence level, eh?
That was the late vote coming in for Pam. So yeah, Pam definitely moved on without prejudice for sure. Thank you for the vote, Kurt. We have an early vote for Jigsaw against Hannibal. Yeah, wow, man, this is like two. I don't know, man. This is two heavyweights for sure, and they're both very intellectually matched.
Yes. The thing that I think could be the X factor for Hannibal is the fact that Jigsaw usually needs a considerable amount of time to plan. He needs that time factor. Like, if you're within that, you're dead.
Yeah, but you also need to fall into
his trap.
Cliche, the trap.
Yeah. But Hannibal, he's almost like ahead of people all the time. And like he, as we've seen in the films and the TV show, he'll strike you at any time and take you. And, there's he's planned it in his head, but there's not like weeks of planning and like a trap room and everything. So I think if it's a spontaneous fight, I'd have to give it to Hannibal. But if there's planning involved, I would have to give it to Jigsaw. So,
yeah, I think that it's a fair assessment for sure, and that it definitely leans towards Hannibal because, like you said, there is that X factor where, face to face, who's going to win the fight, John Kramer or Hannibal? Or can John Kramer lure Hannibal into a trap?
Yes, that's the thing. But could he be led into a trap? That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Hannibal, I can't see him getting trapped. Yeah,
No.
that's gets his victims and puts them in. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're definitely right. Yeah, I agree. Wow. Yeah, I think with Kurt, along with me and you, I think we're on Hannibal's side. Barring any last minute votes, I think I got to move Hannibal on.
Same. I think Hannibal is an apex predator.
Yeah. He does. And he does have assistants as well.
Oh, that's right.
As
yes.
Hannibal has always acted alone.
Yeah. That's right. Yikes.
Well, I mean, we can give it a minute to see if anybody sides, because right now we have here live we have a 3-1. I'm going to check the comments real quick to see if we had love for either of these.
Yeah, good call on that. I forgot about basically his assistants all the time.
Yeah, so what do we got here? Jigsaw, John Kramer, 10 movies. Yeah, so 60 kills in total, 30 by The Apprentices, 30 by John Kramer. It's a 30-30 split. It's a 30-30 split. Yeah. Over
Damn.
62 to 98. We're not trying. We're trying definitely not to base this simply on kill count, because that would just be boring. But I think without wasting any more time, I think I'm going to have to side with Hannibal.
Nice.
So we have it. We have our final there, and we'll let that one lie with everyone for a bit. We've got Pamela Voorhees and Hannibal waiting to go into the final four. So let's go on to the next division here. The Supernatural division.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough. And they just get tougher. I started with the easy one.
Yeah, this is going to be brutal.
Yeah. The Nun versus Carrie in our first matchup.
Oh, man. I think I know which way I'm going on this one.
All right. So while we're waiting for votes here, so the Nun, she was in the Conjuring movies. We know that, but from the Nun 1 and 2, there's 27 kills in the Nun, 7 kills in the Nun 2. Valak, which is the demon that inhabits the body of the Nun, was a leader of 30 legions of demons in hell. Extremely intelligent. Powers consist of telekinesis, pyrotechnics, pyrokinesis, amongst others. That's tough, man.
And then poor Carrie was like a bullied and like beat down poor girl who finally got possessed by we're not sure what, and killed everyone.
Yeah.
But didn't it consumed her as well?
It did. And so a little bit about the background there. So apparently her great-grandmother also showed sign, Sadie Cochran, the great-grandmother of Carrie, showed signs of telekinesis. And then Carrie's powers were suppressed during her childhood because her mother thought she was the devil. It was the devil trying to come through. This is true. High school can be brutal. So it's something that ran in her family, Carrie. It's a matter of supernatural powers versus an actual demon. So I mean, it's tough. Carrie's kill count was 440. Of course, she locked everybody in
and then just burnt the place.
But we got to vote for Carrie, obviously. I'm going to check the comments here.
Oh, this is a toughie, man.
It is. It is.
I know The Nun always gives me the chills.
Right.
Ugh.
I mean, Carrie was a good movie, and I'm sure it scared me a little bit more than it does now when I was a kid. But that last scene was just something that was so memorable for me, and so so imprinting on me. But The Nun is freaky as hell for sure.
And as I got older, I was like, you know what? She wasn't a villain. Like, those assholes deserved everything. Like,
yeah. I don't know, man. Oh.
I'm going Valak. Like,
you're going to go with Valak. Oh, so you're going to make me be the deciding vote unless someone else gets in here, please. Someone else gets in here. Right now, if you're watching, we got another comment coming in here. We go with Carrie on that one.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So, yeah. Oh man, I almost want to make this a tie and make someone else have the tiebreaker here. So if we got one more vote, we got time. We currently, if you're tuning in now, right now our matchup is the Nun versus Carrie. Of course, Valak, which is the demon that inhabited the Nun, versus Carrie, whose family had a history of supernatural powers, and she was tortured and tormented in high school.
Oh yeah,
that's
that poor girl.
It's enough to drive anybody mad for sure.
Yeah, because honestly, I think she was like the hero of that film by the end, like for sure. Where Valak terrifies the hell out of me.
All right. Flip for it. Do we want to flip for it? Do we really want to flip for it? Man. You know what, Lee? I think I'm going to let you have this one. I'm going to side with you guys and put Carrie through.
Wow, nice.
It's almost the final girl thing versus the demon, right? So
yeah.
The hero, like you said, the hero. I think your hero speech is what did it for me.
Oh, very good.
But all right. So we've got Carrie in the first one. Moving on, she will face Pinhead in the next round. But first up, we've got Samara versus the Creeper.
Oh,
both
man.
Interesting backstories. Samara, she was a gifted child with psychic powers. Where does I find my info here? Yeah, her in 1970, a woman named Evelyn was held captive in a basement, and sexually perverted priest named Burke raped her while in captivity. She was impregnated. She escaped 8.5 months later and gave birth at a hospital to a baby girl named Samara. She ceased to cry. She was born with strange supernatural abilities. It was unknown where the abilities came from. Since her biological parents were fully human, it was most likely that she was a human incarnation of a demonic spirit that resided within the waters. It says Evelyn lived in constant fear of her. Shortly after her birth, she said that she heard voices telling her that the only way to get rid of the evil spirits within Samara was by drowning her. So one of the powers that she had, Dr. Scott said that she had an ability which let her imprint images into people's heads. And of course, in the videotapes, which we saw in the movie, it was, anybody who watched the tape, 7 days later, you got a call and you were dead. And that was her final, final hurrah for her untimely end.
Yes.
Thanks to her mother. So, and of course, after her mother killed her, she jumped off the cliff.
Yeah.
And then the Creeper, very interesting backstory for sure. The Creeper, a lot of cultures believed in the Creeper. There was the Cherokees believed in Yucatan, which was the most feared of all most feared and respected of all dark creatures.
Really?
The Aztecs believed that he was the serpent god, and would sacrifice people to appease him. His age is unknown. Could be 100 years plus. He could be immortal. This could have been, but he comes every 23 springs for 23 days to feed, and has a kill count of over 498 that we know of.
Yeah, that's the thing. We only know of those ones.
Right. Yeah. So this is a really tough matchup.
That's the thing. Could she get into the head of the creeper, and then vice versa? Would the creeper be able to eat her and use her parts?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, this is a really tough one, man. We've already got to vote for the creeper. Jeez.
I love the creeper. I just don't see him being able to take her down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's tough, man, for sure.
I don't know. Would she be able to get into his head? And if she did, would it even affect him? That's the thing.
Right. Yeah, because I don't think they actually ultimately even beat her at the end, did they?
No, they lost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the creeper didn't really lose either.
No, those farmer guys in part 2 pinned him on the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one, man.
I'm going with her.
You're going with the creeper?
No.
You're going with Samara. You're not with Lee's comment.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man.
Sorry, Lee.
All right. Well, maybe we have the deciding vote coming in here. The creeper doesn't have a TV show, so he's safe. Yeah. Wow.
I know, man. You've made this tough.
Yeah. Tougher than I thought. Now that we're in the shit here.
I know, right? I'm not sure. ID?
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Maybe you can embellish there, Kennedy, and let us know. Right now, our matchup is the Creeper versus Samara.
Samara, that image right there too, like that movie changed me.
It really did.
Ooh, man.
It really did. Yeah.
Yeah, that in the original Ringu and all that pretty much is one of those movies that kept me up at night.
Yeah.
And The Grudge. Hi, Dom?
I'm still not catching on here.
Sorry, Kennedy.
That doesn't clear it up for me. I apologize. It could be me. I'm tired. I did have a little bit. So, yeah. But yeah. Geez. We have a very supernatural being here versus a supernatural being that, I mean,
yeah. Is he a vampire? Like, but he regenerates, like.
Yeah. And I mean, if we're talking the fact that he's been around since like the Aztecs, like that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Impressive. And obviously intelligent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. I really want to vote for Samara here. My initial instinct was Samara, I think, but just the longevity of the creeper, I think.
You're right.
If we have the whole Aztec and the Cherokee, and like that's.
He's been around for.
I think Samara the Ring, really haunting imagery. Sorry. No problem. No worries, man.
No problem, Kennedy.
We appreciate you clearing it up. Yeah. It's. See again. Yeah, I would have been the tiebreaker, and we would have had to wait for another vote. But I think I got to go Creeper, guys. I'm sorry.
So we're tied.
Yeah, I switched. I was Team Samara.
Oh, wow.
I think I got to go Creeper. So
we're officially tied.
All right. We're going to come back to that one. Unless we got any last minute votes coming in for the Creeper versus Samara, we're going to have to find a way to decide that one. But while we're waiting, we have the Pinhead versus Carrie.
Oh, man.
And the winner will face the winner of the Creeper versus Samara, and that will move on to fight the winner or Pennywise. So Pinhead versus Carey. I mean, we talked about Carey. Pinhead, like this is some next level stuff.
Yeah. When you're a hell priest,
Right.
yeah.
Man.
The thing is, their pain, the pain they give is their pleasure. And they kind of feed off it and everything. I don't think she feels anything anymore. I think she'd probably become a hell priest.
Yeah, you might be right. Wow. Current matchup, if you're just tuning in, we're trying to decide between Pinhead and Carey. And the other matchup that we still have that's open-ended is the Creeper versus Samara. So we're looking for your votes to help us out here. I'm going to go and check the comments here.
That one will break the tie too. Samara
and we saw, actually, you know what? I don't even need to check the comments on that one because we saw so much love and so many arguments saying that Pinhead would win the whole thing.
Yeah. He's a hell priest. I don't know how you would stop that.
Yeah. Sorry, Carey. I think Pinhead's going to win that one because I remember from reading the comments earlier that Pinhead was like there was a lot of people taking him all the way.
Oh,
so now we have it. We have to decide the Creeper or Samara.
Ooh.
And unless we get another vote in the next few seconds, I'm going to have to flip flop and I'm going to have to vote with my original. I'm going to have to vote with my heart and be the tiebreaker. I'm going to have to be the mediator here and go with Samara and move her on. So unless someone has a vote for Samara or the Creeper in the next few seconds, they're both the winner of that's going on to face Pennywise. So, Kurt, did you vote on that one? Samara.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Pinhead, definitely.
Yeah. I should have went with my gut. I should have just said Samara. So yeah, we've got Samara moving on. We've got her facing Pennywise now. The winner will face Pinhead for a chance to go on to the final four.
Eek.
Yeah. Pennywise, like we're talking between. This was a very specific number when I looked this up to find Pennywise's kill count. I have a hard time with these numbers. I don't deny the numbers. I don't deny that it's up that high because he's been around forever. Yeah. These are very specific numbers. The numbers I had were between 12,117
what?
18,011.
That is very specific.
Who's been keeping the tally?
Exactly. And same deal. He's been around pretty much at the birth of Earth. Like,
yeah, he's an ancient alien, right?
Yeah.
Not a fan of either, so whatever making his picks. Well, that's why Baskin Robbins has 41 flavors.
Man, me personally, oh wow, I'm terrified by both. But I got to give it to Pennywise.
Yeah, they both almost ultimately feed on fear.
Yeah.
But Pennywise, just again, he's got that longevity factor that we don't quite know how old he is. He is an ancient alien. We do know that, and I mean that just opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
Yeah. Maybe we've only seen a fraction of his ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to throw my vote in for Pennywise. So unless we get 3 more votes in the next few seconds, I don't think anybody's going to top Pennywise. So there we have it. We have Pinhead moving on against Mr. Doug Bradley, Pinhead. Yeah.
Awesome.
Again, this is another tough matchup. We had
Oh, we have Pamela and Hannibal.
Yes, we have Pamela and Hannibal in the first one. And now we have Pinhead
and Pennywise
versus Pennywise. All right. So those are the final four in the one side. And Pinhead easily. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to go with Lee on that.
All right. So we're going to leave those sit again, and we're going to go on to our next division. This is the David versus Goliath division.
Oh, man. Come on, Leprechaun.
Letting it ride. Put it all in the Leprechaun. Chucky versus Frankenstein. I tried to do, like I said, we got, Chucky versus Frankenstein, Leprechaun versus Pumpkinhead. These are two very David versus Goliath type matchups.
Oh, for sure.
Chucky, it was a voodoo curse kind of thing. The killer, he got put into a doll, which, I mean, to me wasn't, I don't think he thought that whole thing through. But Charles Lee Ray, of course, inhabited the good guy doll. He's got a kill count of 67.
Wow.
Which is pretty impressive for a doll.
You know what? I hate to say it, but I got to go with Chucky. Like Frankenstein, he just seemed like if you left him alone, he would leave you alone. You know what I mean? Like,
right. At least the original.
Yes. He was almost childlike.
He was.
I think Chucky would take advantage of that.
He had no option at the time. That's fair. I guess it's better than that than a Barbie. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is going to be our first major upset. I mean, Frank has the strength, and Chucky. Charles Lee Ray was a very intelligent man. He was smart enough to live on through a voodoo.
Yeah.
In a doll, and I mean, he stood the test of time. It's a pretty impressive kill count. Frankenstein himself does have a very small kill count. If I look,
yeah, because he killed that girl.
Yeah. 8 feet tall, the monster, Frankenstein's monster, has 6 kills, 3 directly and 3 indirectly.
Yeah, because the little girl, he didn't mean to do that.
Right. Yeah, I think we got an upset here, man. I think Chucky's taken down Frank in this first round.
Whoa.
That's nice. Crazy. It's huge. Yeah. But can Steve get that second round matchup that he so badly wants?
The luck of the Irish lad.
Just one Xeno, or they can do just one Xeno in this case. So yeah, in our next matchup, we have the Leprechaun versus Pumpkinhead, and that was kind of my thinking in these. Like either Chucky, we might have Chucky versus Leprechaun. We could have Frank versus Pumpkinhead. Like those are some two little weight and heavyweight matchups.
That is big time.
But Leprechaun, Lubdan, the Leprechaun, as he's known, kill count of 50 plus, and he has got a list of powers.
Really?
A list. We know he's over 1,000 years old. His powers include magic, demonic magic, essokinesis, shape-shifting, teleportation, superhuman strength, immortality, mind control, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, and supernatural powers of manipulation.
Jeez.
I mean, and luck.
Pretty...
and luck on his side. Don't mess with me, Lucky Charms. Yeah. And then, of course, we've got Pumpkinhead.
Yeesh.
I mean, his appearance obviously is
terrifying,
very terrifying and striking. The history behind Pumpkinhead, we talked about this before when we talked about Pumpkinhead. I kind of dug into the history of Pumpkinhead, and of course, in the movie, he's summoned by a witch to take revenge. Lance Hendrickson employs the witch to seek revenge
on the little boys' killers.
Right. He also
That's
went.
right. That's right. The last episode, they went to space.
Yeah, that's true.
That's usually where you go when you're like an 80s killer guy, right? Like your final thing is to space.
Pumpkinhead was inspired by the movie was inspired by a poem by Ed Justin. Yeah, after a group of young adults accidentally kill a young boy named Bill Harley, his father Ed is devastated, and the only thing he wants is revenge. He goes to an old woman who is said to be a witch and conjures a demonic creature known as Pumpkinhead to unleash on the young adults. The poem is one of those creepy old poems, like everything was like, geez, I'm trying to think of. I'm totally losing my train of thought here for the poem I'm trying to think of. Think of The Raven. Help me out.
Oh, really?
Edgar Allan Poe. Like, it was so creepy. Those guys were just. I mean, I know it didn't take a lot to frighten people back then, but the writing was just so good and so dark and so. It just created that imagery in your head. But Pumpkinhead, unless you're tired of living, his enemies are mostly dead. He's mean and unforgiving. Laugh at him and you're undone. But in some dreadful fashion, vengeance he considers fun and plans it with a passion time will not erase or blot. A plot that he is brewing, it's when you think he's forgot. He'll conjure your undoing. Bolted the doors and windows, barred and locked. Guard dogs prowling in the yard won't protect you in your bed. Nothing will from Pumpkinhead.
Jeez.
It sounds like something my mom would have told me when I was a kid.
Exactly, eh?
We all about Krampus, and Krampus freaked me the hell out.
Oh, yeah.
If you're bad, Krampus will come and put you in a bag and beat you with a stick. I was like, Jesus.
Everything was scary when we were kids, eh?
Yeah, again, yeah, I really want to vote Pumpkinhead here.
Man.
I don't really care for the Leprechaun movies, but
no, I don't like the Leprechaun movies, but I just think it'd be hilarious if he went all the way.
His list of powers are pretty undeniable.
That's insane. Like, wow, I didn't realize he was that powerful.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you know me, I'm pushing with the Leprechaun. I'm
pretty sure we already had a vote for Leprechaun.
Yes.
Yeah. We do have 2 votes for Leprechaun. You're voting Leprechaun. I don't think I can really even beat you guys anyways if I voted the other way. So I don't remember seeing any love for Pumpkinhead in the comments. I remember a couple comments about Leprechaun and his powers, which is why I looked them up. So I think we have a Leprechaun thing matchup in the second round.
The 2 little guys made it through, eh?
Versus the Xenomorphs. Yeah, 2 huge upsets in the David and Goliath division.
Wow.
All right. First up, we got Chucky. And I'm going to clear that up and say, yes, 1 Xenomorph.
Ooh.
So
I got to go Xeno, man.
Yeah. Their only real weakness is fire.
Yep. That's right. And if Chucky, the Xenos have the speed, the stealth. If he cut them, the acid would burn him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Chucky for sure. I think we probably just lose followers just putting Chucky through on this one. Sorry, Lee. Oh God, it's still Chucky for me. He is an evil bastard.
He is pure evil.
Not deny that. But much like Pinhead on the other side, we saw a lot of love for the Xenos in the comments, saying they could potentially go all the way.
Oh, a Xeno? Yeah. They're the perfect killing machine.
They really are. So I don't think we can. I don't think we can push Chucky past in this one. I think it's the Xeno moving on,
But
awaiting the winner of Lubnin, the Leprechaun, and Steve's boy, the Thing.
oh, man,
He's been melted before, and he still can't. This is true.
that's true. He's got staying power.
But by then the bell has already rung, so I think he was down for the count on that one. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Please don't hate me. Yeah. The Thing. Wow. Again, we know we have an alien element here that was frozen in the Antarctic. He can enter pretty much any living thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Lee's taking this one hard.
He is. I apologize. Wow.
Can magic work on the Thing? Is the thing.
Right. Yeah. Oh, man.
I think, sadly, the Leprechaun be screwed.
Yeah.
He would absorb him.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive list of powers, but I don't see how Chucky outdoes the Thing in this one.
Yeah. An alien.
Yeah, alien. Yeah.
Alien, very dangerous, like organism. Yeah. Alien. Centuries old alien.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Thing.
I think we need to set up that final matchup between the Xenos and the Thing.
Two aliens.
So
this is awesome.
So there you go. We've got Xenos versus the Thing in a chance to go to the Final Four. We've got Pamela and Hannibal waiting to go to the Final Four, and we've got Pinhead versus Pennywise waiting to go on to the Final Four. And I saved what is arguably, the Thing just takes.
Nice.
Yeah. Arguably the most anticipated division. I could have very easily made these the bye seeds, but then again, I think we would have just ended up with them in the end. So I thought, let's put them all in one division, the slasher division. Jason Voorhees, of course, getting the bye along with Leatherface. So first up, we've got Art the Clown versus Reagan. Again, I took shit for putting Reagan in there, but again, we are talking about Pazuzu.
Yes.
So I did some research into Pazuzu, and it's pretty interesting. I can find it here. Yeah, Pazuzu was again, we're talking like with an ancient demon.
Jeez.
So I mean, it's definitely a pretty tough matchup for
It
anybody.
is.
Traced back to the 7th or 8th century, Pazuzu was the father and lord of all. Pazuzu's father was the lord of all evil forces. Pazuzu himself was the king of the demons. So
he's a real deal.
It's weird that he appears as a cherub boy riding a two-headed dragon.
Whoa. Yeah, that's very odd.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly the interpretation we got in The Exorcist, but kind of, I guess it was kind of a morph of the two. Yeah.
Ooh.
It is a tough matchup.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, me and Steve will hold off on our votes.
Yeah, I'm going to hold.
Art the Clown, again, we're talking a possible supernatural element.
For sure.
His background does remain pretty ambiguous. He does have a kill count of 26 that we know of, but his longevity is kind of in question. Like how long's Art been around?
Exactly.
In how many forms, possibly even.
That's right.
Got to go with Pazuzu. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it's tough to beat a demon, especially an ancient demon. Art scares me way more. And Clown don't scare Glee at all. So
Clowns kind of freak me out. So, but I got to go with Pazuzu. Like that. Yeah, that's some deep, deep, serious like evil.
It really is for sure. I think Pazuzu is going to edge out our newcomer here in Art the Clown. So upset, not really, but still a pretty tough matchup for sure.
That is.
Otherworldly powers, yeah.
Ooh, Art? Yeah, we've seen him come back from the dead and get reborn in part 2. Yeah, he got his head at least got reborn at the end there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move the demon on here. Next up, we have Michael Myers versus Freddy Krueger.
Wow.
Again, when we talk about Michael, although not originally intended to have a supernatural background, he was just going to be a typical, normal psycho killer. But
Yeah.
of course, as the movies went on, we had, the Curse of Michael Myers and talked about the Curse of the Thorn Cult.
Yeah.
And the Druids put this curse on the family, and basically every Halloween, someone has to come back and sacrifice their family.
Jeez. Yeah, I remember that. That really took an odd spin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my take. Freddy, his whole powers relied on fear. And the more the fear, the stronger he gets. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've ever seen Myers show fear.
No, this is true. Freddy has obviously his own history for sure. It was changed from a child molester to a child killer. It was originally intended to be a child molester, but they changed that because they just thought, it might be a little more film friendly.
Yeah.
You're talking about killing kids. So,
Exactly. How is that better?
They're both horrible, but Freddy haunts Myers' nightmares. Maybe. I mean, he got into Jason's head.
That's true.
Did he win that fight? I mean, that could be argued, but I mean, we'll talk. We're gonna wait. We'll talk about that one in a minute because we might
true.
get there. But yeah, Freddy, he was eventually burned. He was basically burned at the stake almost. Metaphorically, the neighborhood parents kind of tracked him down and burned him alive. And at the very last second, the Dream Demons came in and offered him a deal, saying, we'll make you immortal and you have to, bring us souls. So Freddy does have the supernatural element to him for sure. Michael Myers has the curse and then the supernatural question mark and past. Kill count, Freddy's around 63. Michael is 161 plus.
Whoa.
So
that's true. That brings up a good point. What if he got into Michael's head?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I said, Fred, he's having a hard time with this one.
That's the thing.
Love for Freddy. I lean towards Michael because he was yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
But I like your point, Steve, is he got into Jason's head, and I didn't think that would be possible.
Right.
But if he got into Michael's,
but then he lost, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he used his own arm and claw and put it through it.
That's true.
I kind of backfired. He had his head at the end.
Yeah, that did kind of backfire on him.
Yeah. Well, we've got a vote for Freddy. We've got a vote for Michael.
I'm going Michael because I can't think of a time that Michael's ever shown fear.
All right, so we got votes coming in here now. We've got another one for Fred. We've got another one for Michael. So it's 1, 2. Sorry, you went with
Michael.
So we have 1 for Michael, 2 for Michael, 3 for Michael, and 1, 2 for Freddy. Wow. Do I really want to make this one tie? I think it would play out much the same way it did with Jason. I think Freddy would ultimately maybe get the edge, but I think Michael is just so resilient.
Yeah, he's a force of nature.
Yeah. I think we gotta move Michael on in that one. Did not beat Jason. And you're entitled to it. You are entitled to it. All right, yeah. So that brings that matchup as Michael versus Leatherface and Pazuzu versus Jason Voorhees.
Woo-wee.
Jason versus the Demon.
Oh man.
I mean, Jason's gone to hell.
Yes, he has, and
he
made it
came
back.
back.
Yeah.
And
That
then he
guy's
went
got-
to space.
and got tougher.
He went from down here. He went from here to here to here. That's almost every plane.
That's right. You know what? You're right. I think, wow, it might. Yeah, I might have to go with Jason because I think Pazuzu would drag him to whatever realm he's in and just get tired of beating on him, and Jason would come back.
Right?
Jason's just too tough.
He is, and he's very proficient in many, many weapons,
Oh yeah,
including nitroglycerin. Yeah, I got to go Jason on this one.
Yeah,
I can't see this one going any other way.
great point with him going to hell and back too.
Yeah. All right, so we've got Jason moving on, awaiting the winner of Leatherface versus Michael.
Yes.
Steve's dream and worst outcome. One has to go. He's already been to hell. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why
There's
Jason moved on.
There's not much you can do to him.
No. So yeah, Jason awaiting the winner of Michael and Freddie. Leatherface versus Michael. My bad.
Wow. You know, we got like the ferocity of Leatherface, right? Like just that pure animalistic ferocity. And then we have Michael, like, wow. Would he be able to chop him up and keep him down? I don't know.
Yeah. And I think there's an argument also to be made, much how you said that, Carrie was almost the victim in this one, as we saw from later stories. Leatherface has almost become somewhat a victim in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, he has.
Yeah. And does he have that ultimate evil because Leatherface was cool with his family. Like,
yes.
His fucking family. Michael's just like, nope, not having it. Screw you people.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah. That's right. Leatherface loves his family. Yeah.
And was manipulated by them very much so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he had every reason to push back on them.
Oh yeah.
Bigger weapon. Michael, Leatherface is a man and can be.
That's
destroyed.
true. Yeah, Leatherface. That's true too. The family might get involved too.
That's true. This could be
That could be an X factor.
It could. It really could.
Because look, they got the hitchhiker. They got like Grandpa. You know what I mean? But is it just Leatherface and?
Yeah, I think we're going to stick to just the one-on-one matchups here. Yeah, just to make that a little more clear.
Sadly, because I love Leatherface, I don't think Leatherface could do it.
That's a different poll. Yeah.
I honestly think he would rush him and come at him and chop him up and turn around, think he's beat him. And then Myers would get up and just have at him. And like Kennedy said, he's a human.
Yeah, Leatherface is he's tormented, and Michael is just a psychotic steamroller.
Yeah, he's evil personified.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I got to agree on this one. So yeah, that puts us at our final matchup: Jason versus Michael in the slasher division.
So my favorite Leatherface is out. The leprechaun's gone.
Oh man! All right. So we're going to move back over to the human division here and see who moves on to the final four. Of course, we have Pamela versus Hannibal.
Woo.
Hannibal versus Pamela. Yeah, that's it. It's tough.
Wow. I think he would try and lure her in to control her pain about losing her son and then make like liver pate out of her.
He'd go all psychiatrist on her, eh?
Yeah, he'd try and dissect her. He'd be smart enough to make her feel her pain again and then to move in.
Mm-hmm. And it worked on Jason, at least for a short time, for our first final girl, putting the sweater on, manipulating Jason.
That's right.
Yeah. So I think the mama bear, I think even though her wrath is unmatched, she's very emotional.
Yes, she's emotionally driven, and I think Hannibal would see that.
Hannibal is cold and calculated.
Yeah, he would see that and move in.
Wow. Yeah. Oh man. I think our vote, I think we're leaning towards Hannibal. So unless we can get I think Kurt's gonna be the deciding vote here.
Kurt comes in with Hannibal.
You're gonna have to push Hannibal through. Oh, we got another one coming up here. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Hannibal walking. All right, Hannibal into the final four. Wow. All right. Next up, we had Pinhead versus Pennywise. The winner moving on to face Hannibal.
Oh boy. Wow. So we have an ancient alien versus an ancient hell priest.
Yeah.
This is a brutal one.
Yeah.
Honestly, I got to go with Pinhead, me. With his powers and abilities and
I think I'm going to have to go Pinhead as well.
Yeah. I think Pennywise would try and screw with him, and then Pinhead would just take him out. Like there'd be hooks coming from everywhere.
Yeah. We got 3 votes for Pinhead, so I don't think Pennywise is going to bounce back from this one.
And same deal, he feeds on fear. Pennywise, there'd be no fear from Pinhead.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I think Pinhead's running away with this one. All right, we've got it. We've got Hannibal versus Pinhead, awaiting our other final 2. Which first up we have the Xeno versus the Thing.
Oh my God! Honestly, would the Thing be able to consume the Xeno? Only because you know how it has to consume it to replicate it, because of that acid for blood, right?
Yeah.
And the exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is another huge matchup. I mean, we've seen the Xenos lose time and time again.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen the Thing lose because we don't think. I mean, the Thing didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just going to go dormant even if it does again somehow.
True. Wow. Yeah, I got to go with Alien. The Xeno.
Yeah, no, we had Pinhead defeating Pennywise, so I think I don't think your vote would have swung the difference on that one. Sorry, you were voting which way, Steve?
Xeno.
Xeno?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 2 votes for the Xeno. Yeah, it's tough, man.
Only because of that whole, it has to almost consume to assimilate you. I think it would, if it did get through that exoskeleton, it would get to the acid.
I think the fact that you're voting against the Thing says a lot.
I know, right? My favorite movie.
So I don't think we can change that one. But
You're killing me here.
Zeno's asses would destroy the thing. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the argument that holds the most weight here for sure.
Yeah.
All right, and then we got one more comment in here before we go to the next one. The thing replicates a queen and starts its own colony.
That would be awesome.
Thing burns the Xeno. Wow. Yeah, I think it's still 3-2 though, at least on here. I know we had. You know what? I'm gonna check the comments for this one because I know we had a lot of love both ways, and I'm thinking the Xeno's almost got more. Brian Hill, I really want to see Xeno versus Frankenstein. Sorry, we couldn't make that one happen, Brian. Pinhead versus the Thing in the final would be epic. Yeah, we're not there yet. Thanks for that comment, though, Clinton. Let's see what else we got here. Freddy Krueger is being disrespected for not getting the first round by Joshua. Sorry. It happens, man.
Yeah.
Xeno would rip everyone apart.
Xeno's pretty deadly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the Xeno is getting the most love here for sure. Chucky.
No, the leprechaun.
It would have been if Howard Stern's fans would have been voting for this. Yeah, the leprechaun would have won the whole thing. He'd already be partying with William Hung. She bang.
That would be so awesome. Push the leprechaun through.
All right, so we've got the Xeno awaiting the winner of Jason and Michael.
Oh, we knew it was going to come to this,
right? I know. We knew it was something bad was going to happen. We got Jason versus Michael. Just two of the biggest names in the game. Yeah. Oh man, Jason versus Michael.
Wow.
I really think we got to let the fans decide.
Yeah, I don't think you and I should decide this one.
Yeah, if I'm voting with my heart, I go Jason with a slight edge because I've attested this. Like when I did Tyler Maine's panel at Niagara Falls Comic Con, I told him Michael was always the character that scared me the most. Even though I love Jason the most, Michael always scared me the most.
Yeah, because he's always in the shadows around you.
We've got to vote for Jason. This hurts. Jason's my first love. I got to give it to him. They're both so alike. Jason is way more diverse in his arsenal. Yeah, he's got a crazy arsenal for sure. Spear guns, axes, sleeping bags.
That weed whipper that he used the one time.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go to the comments here and see what we got.
Where was Gordon when the leprechaun thing was happening too? I was hoping he'd be in here.
Jason, he's less human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Jason's looked like it's a landslide.
It really does. Yeah. I didn't think it'd be that much of a runaway, but yeah. And we're definitely seeing a lot of love for Jason on here. Jason would beat Leatherface in the division final. That didn't happen, but they had Jason moving on. Thanks for that comment, Lance. Yeah. The Northeast Conference is stacked with power players. Jason, Michael, Leatherface, Freddie. Could have been 1 seeds in each bracket. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. That conference was pretty rough.
It was. It really was. I think Jason is taking this one. I don't see anything to hold up against it.
Wow.
Jason much more creative. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys are right.
Yeah.
We're great. How are you, Gordon?
Michael's a very cut to the chase kind of guy, literally.
Yeah. He doesn't screw around.
That's where Jason is very creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got Jason.
Wow.
Jason moving on.
That's unbelievable.
Wow. So our final four, we're going to run down here. We have got Jason, going up against the Xeno.
Oh man.
And then on the other side, we have Hannibal versus Pinhead. We've defended Hannibal at every turn here and how intelligent he is, and thinking he'd always be one step ahead. But I think this is where his run ends.
Yeah, it's over. You can't. I would think a Hell Priest.
We've got 2 votes coming in here, so he's got Pinhead versus Jason in the final. I'm good.
Good job. Good to hear, Gordon.
Good, buddy. Right on. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think Hannibal. I can't really vote against Pinhead in this one.
No, me neither. He's done.
We've already seen some love for Pinhead.
They might even bring him into the loop.
In the live comments here, I know I saw a lot of people saying that Pinhead would take the entire thing. I just don't see Hannibal pulling out the win on this one.
No. I could see Pinhead embracing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then bringing him in.
On.
Exactly.
Yeah, mimicking your comment right there. Yeah. Pinhead.
That would be awesome.
Like Ray Liotta. This is good.
Oh, that was so brutal.
Something smells good.
Oh man.
It's you. All right. I think Pinhead is moving on. That leaves us our final matchup awaiting Pinhead in the final. We have Jason versus the Xeno.
Now this is a slobber knocker. Like this is.
It is.
And
this
they
one,
would both
this one goes the distance.
Yeah. And they would both, like, if you set one on each end of the room, they would just go right for each other. Like,
yeah. Wow.
Honestly, I think Jason's got the staying power. Like the acid would melt his arms off and his face. But we've seen him go through that before.
Yeah.
He's had toxic waste dumped on him. I think he would reach in and probably pull out the heart of the alien if it has one, or rip his head clean off.
And I think I'm going to go back to some of the comments made earlier by people and just seeing how creative and innovative Jason is and how we've seen normies beat the aliens in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're still living. Like the Space Marines took them down. And sure, Jason will. Yeah. I don't know. We've seen Jason get like burned. Like I think he'd lose limbs for sure. But we've seen him toss him off a spaceship.
That's it. It's over.
That would be so awesome.
Lee Griffin for the win. Lee Griffin for the win. Jason has been melted. Yeah. Yeah.
That acid blood.
As much as I would like to see Alien versus Hell Priestess, because that is an epic matchup, I think there's a lot of arguments for Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen him, man, he's been frozen. He's been nuclear waste dumped on him. He's been burned. He's gone to hell.
Drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I think the initial chop with the machete or whatever would probably burn the machete. The bite through Jason's mask would probably injure him. And then once he starts getting into hand-to-hand with it, yeah, the acid would probably burn his hands off and everything. But I think they will probably do the old King Kong and just grab the mandibles, like each top and bottom jaw, and just rip its head open. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I like your thought there for sure. I think yeah. As much as the Xenos, they are very impressive. Like I said, they do tend to be beaten by the normal folk time after time eventually. So I think Jason would get the upper hand. And I mean, I'm not an alien hater, but I'm definitely on the side that it is more sci-fi thriller than horror. But I did think they deserved to be in the tournament. So
for sure.
I think we got to go Jason and Pinhead.
He'd be mangled. Like Jason would be really mangled after that fight, but then he'd just recover after.
Well, there you have it, everybody. We have Jason versus Pinhead, and the winner will be announced on our next show. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Jason versus Pinhead.
Wow.
Again, to echo some of the comments, past comments made. I mean, we have the Hell Priestess, but Jason's been to hell.
Yeah. We don't even know if Jason feels pain. I don't think he does. He gets like burned. He just keeps going. You know what I mean? There's no pleasure there for Hell Priest. The hooks and chains would only hold him for like moments.
He'd probably rip them out himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and I cannot.
No.
Someone who. Yeah.
That's true.
That is another great argument. Wow.
He's like just an unstoppable machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Mind control. Yeah.
I don't think you can mind control him. The only one who could control him is his mom.
Mm-hmm. And she's not here.
No, and Hannibal took care of her.
It could have been Pamela and Jason in the final.
Could
that would have
you
been weird.
imagine that?
That would have been weird.
That'd have been cool. Pamela would have won.
Jason! Give me that machete. You put that down.
I honestly think, I'm trying to think of a scenario where Jason doesn't break free from any restraints that the Hell Priest can throw at him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. I think we have it, folks. I think the king of the slashers, or at least king of the killers, today. I mean, I think it's Jason.
I think you're right.
I think
we just found it.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Jason Voorhees. Jason,
wow.
Jason Aloysius Voorhees.
Is that his middle name?
A lot of people don't really know his middle. That is not his name.
I was gonna say, no wonder he's like a crazy killer.
Can you imagine?
Aloysius.
Pinhead employs him as a foreman. Yeah.
No kidding.
That would be a very likely outcome, and then we have no decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Leprechaun would win. And that would be it. So.
Yeah. And then Leprechaun comes out from behind under the ring.
I'll bite your kneecaps off, Letty.
Wow. Yeah. That was pretty awesome. Thanks for everybody that participated in that. But in a very, very narrow margin. And I think it'd be one of those matchups where, Pinhead would come in and raise Jason's arm at the end.
Yeah. And
then they walk out together.
I think you're right.
And rain hell on everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that was fun. I appreciate everyone who.
Well done, Steve. That was amazing.
Who voted previously on our Facebook post. I appreciate everybody that tuned in and voted tonight. Got to go watch the MLS. All right. Thanks for joining, Lee.
Thanks for joining.
I know we've gone a little bit over our normal time here, but we're going to zip through the news. We'll forego our sponsor this week. So just call Lobster. Lobster Shark, dirty o'clock. All right. Horror news of the week. Lots happening. Predator.
Oh yeah, we never even thought of that.
And I've said that, I don't know if I've said this on this show, but the Predator is supposed to be this ultimate being that goes from planet to planet and just always gets beat by humans.
I know, right? I don't get that.
We had a great movie where we had a period film where he went back and fought against I forget the. I don't want to get it wrong, but I forget the tribe that he was fighting. But have one set in World War II so the Predator can win one. Have him beat the fuck out of the Nazis and have him be the reason we won World War II.
Wouldn't that be just
That's
amazing?
The script right there.
That would be, Steve, I think you're on to gold right there. That would be amazing.
And that's the one to win.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
All
Oh,
right. Horror news of the week. Lots to talk about, so we're going to rip through this quick. We've got some new poster art for the upcoming Pooh Blood and Honey. Some great posters here as we see Pooh ready for another Dead Time story.
oh
As
my God.
we see
Piglet.
Piglet here. And of course, we know now that the statute of limitations have run out on Owl.
Damn.
Guess who's joining the fun? And of course, Tigger too. The cat is out of the bag.
How terrifying are those designs?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
That is great.
Reyes Frank Waterfield, of course, the writer, director, and the mind behind these movies. We know Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 is coming out March 26th. And this is strong a whole new genre of movies. Like we've got Mickey's Mousetrap coming out now with the Steamboat Willie statute of limitations running out. We know that there's going to be a Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, Cinderella's Revenge, Three Blind Mice, and also a Mary Had a Little Lamb. So,
oh my,
lots to look forward to in this fairy tale era of slashers that we now live in. I think it's pretty awesome. The first one wasn't a great movie, but it was a pretty limited budget, and I think it's opened the door to a much more creative sequel. So I definitely look forward to it.
Their budget's definitely gone up. Those masks look amazing.
Yeah. Going back to our tournament for a minute here, we're going to talk about Pinhead. Doug Bradley has expressed interest in portraying Pinhead again.
Ooh.
And he wants to do so with the 2015 novel, The Scarlet Gospels, as the background.
Oh.
Have you read this, Steve?
I've listened to the audiobook of it. I haven't read it, but I've listened to the audiobook.
What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was, if they get into this with him as an older Hell Priest,
right,
this could be deadly.
Yeah.
Have you read it? Have you read it or
not.
Gone into? You know what? The book is so big. That's why I got the audiobook, because I'm like, I can't do this, man. I would suggest that.
Doug said, I certainly never say never, and I never said I was done with it. I never said I'm retired. I'm sensible about things. I was in my mid-30s when I first played the character, and I was just turning 50 when I played him the last time.
Wow.
I ain't in that age range anymore. I'm now in my 70th year, and I think, and to some extent, I think special effects makeup is a young man's game. So, hey, who knows?
I think he's onto something. If we could get like basically the old band back together, like Nicholas as Butterball, or no, as Chatter, and get Tim as Butterball and Barbie as the Hell Priestess and everything, I think that'd be amazing for this.
Yeah, no, I would definitely like to see him back in one last hurrah for sure.
And I'd like to see Clive in charge of it, like with his vision. I think would be amazing.
Yeah, no, you definitely got me on board for sure.
Yeah. Anything Hellraiser, I'm on board.
Ty West has said that he already has a sequel to Maxine planned.
Of course he does.
Mia Goth, of course, starring in X, Maxine, and is that the third one, Maxine?
Yes, but doesn't it have 3 X's in it, Maxine?
Yes,
and
yes.
It's all with that 80s font, and I haven't seen that yet.
No, I haven't seen Maxine yet, but
no.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing the trailer for this, the original trailer, and thinking, wow, this really looks good.
Yeah.
And it just didn't live up to my expectations for whatever reason. The second one wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah. The hype behind the first one, though, was insane, eh? Like,
it really was.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. Not really a horror movie. I mean, you could argue that one, I guess. But The Crow, I'm sure the comics and the graphic novels have been a lot darker. But we've got our first look at Bill Skarsgård as the Crow.
This one punched me right in the heart. I've been a big Crow fan since James O'Barr put it out in the the 80s. Love The Crow, everything about it. This would have been better as not Eric Draven, but just another Crow. Right. I think this is that's the magic about the first Crow movie, is it was timeless. Like the cars were all different years. When the Crow flew over the city, it looked like something from like Gotham or something. Like it was timeless. Yeah. Why are they making everyone look like a crappy SoundCloud rapper? Like we have Jared Leto, Joker. We got this guy. Like I'm not looking forward to this, and I'm a massive Crow fan.
Wow. Yeah, I can't say I'm excited for this one. I definitely liked Brandon Lee's Crow.
Yeah,
I haven't really delved into much of the paper material, but
you'd like it. It is really good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where I sit on this one. I'm sure I'll check it out, and we can give our opinion on it at a later date. But look forward to that. Even June 7th. June 7th, The Crow coming out. So this one originally was supposed to come out in 2023. It's been pushed back. They say we're going to get it again we're going to get it in 2024. But we've got another teaser trailer for the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
No way. Another one?
Yeah. So go to YouTube after the show and check out the new trailer for the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Oh, I want this so bad.
I know. This is going to be so much fun. And our last story, well, we do still have our Metal Minute, but our last story here from Troma Video, celebrating 50 years.
What?
Years. This next movie from writer and director Ricky Glora. I'm going to say Glora. I don't know if it's Glora. But the trailer is now out for the horror musical comedy, Sweet Meats.
Really? I like that poster.
Yeah. And I end up using Meat and Murder. Where's the other one? Because it had a really great tagline. I'm going to try and dig up the other poster that I originally had. Here it is. The tagline on the other poster that I found was elbow grease is no longer just a phrase. It's a flavor.
I like that.
That's pretty awesome. So that's it for the news. We're running late here. So on this day in horror history, we want to wish a happy 76th birthday to Ken Foree.
Nice.
But wait, it's February 29th. So is he 19 today?
I would say that he's 19.
Happy 19th. You can drink in Canada now, Ken. Next time you come back to Niagara Falls Comic Con, you can go for a beer.
He can go to the casino.
When he was in the Falls?
What's that?
Did you get to meet Ken when he was in the Falls?
Outside, amazingly enough, he was standing out there, and I was going to my car with my portfolio. We just struck up a conversation. Nicest guy.
Right on.
Like wow, big. Yeah. He's a big dude, man.
He is a big dude. Yeah.
Did you?
No, I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to chat with him or meet him. But yeah,
nicest guy. Fan. Him and I were chatting just about art and comics and like everything. Like I didn't mention any movies or anything, and we were just chatting away, and he just seemed like just a super friendly guy.
Right on.
Yeah.
I was actually due on the 29th, the year I was born. I ended up coming a week early, and I've been early ever since. But had I been born on the 29th, the year I was born, I would have only turned 12 this year.
Damn.
So not drinking, at least not in Canada. I think Mexico you can.
Yeah. Some parts of Europe is good.
Yeah. And last but not least, our Metal Minute story from Sepultura. Are you Sepultura fan, Steve?
Love. Well, I like Sepultura up till Max left, and I didn't like him anymore. I thought Max and his brother Igor were Sepultura.
Drummer for almost the last 15 years, Eloy Casagrande.
Yeah.
If I'm saying that right.
I think so, yeah.
Just a few months after announcing their 40th anniversary world tour, he said, I'm out.
What?
He announced his departure from the band. They were set to embark on the Celebrating Life Through Death farewell tour. And he's out. Rumor has it he may be joining Slipknot.
Are you serious?
That's the early rumors that I saw, and I've been reading on the internet. So they did, however, find a replacement. Drummer Grayson Necka-Rootman, an American percussionist and internet personality based out of New York, will be taking over for him on drums with Sepultura in their 40th and farewell anniversary tour. So Liz, keep your eyes peeled for possibly a new Slipknot drummer. Maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
But in his statement, he said he thanked Sepultura and said that decision needed to be made, thinking about new cycles that will come. We are made of choices, and they are not always easy. My departure will never erase my respect and gratitude to the band.
Well, they were done after this tour anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe this is kind of him, like, if Slipknot was sniffing around, maybe this was him just saying, look, I got to look out for me, man.
I gotta get something permanent.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, they could call up Igor and get him back.
Well, I want to thank everyone who joined us. I want to thank everybody who commented in the weeks leading up to this tournament. It was pretty fun. I had a lot of fun putting it together, and I hope you guys had fun voting on it. Our winner and still champion? I don't know. Was he champion? Jason motherfucking Voorhees. Don't quote me on that. I know that's Rob's middle name.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks, Kurt. We appreciate you joining in every week. Looking forward to the NFL draft. Are you guys going for it? You guys released Mitch Trubisky. What's going on at quarterback? You guys going to give that rookie one? I know he's not a rookie anymore, but you're going to get him one more year? And then possibly, you guys going to draft someone? What's going on in Pittsburgh, man? But yeah, for Steve McGinnis, I have been the Metal Man tonight, and this has been another episode of Two Separate Heads. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in a few weeks. Peace.